This is an event you won't want to miss.
I think the number one thing that I take away from this is the challenge. You're always challenged on multiple levels, mentally, physically, spiritually. We've been challenged every day since we've been here. You've got to come here, take some time out, do it. It's a great experience. You'll never forget it.
Hey everybody, we're going to take a quick little break here. I want to stop and thank our new sponsor. If you're serious about getting your time back and scaling your business, then SMA Support Services is your secret weapon. I use SMA for all of our support and admin tasks. Everything from back office management, day-to-day admin, even a call center. Their team frees up my staff to stay focused on high-level, revenue-generating activities. And that, let me tell you, is a fucking game changer. SMA isn't just support. They're a partner that keeps our operations running smooth and efficiently. So if you want to focus on growing your business and leave the support work to the pros, hit up SMA Support Services. Hey, what's up, everybody? We are back with another webinar episode thing from GTFO with Eric O. Thanks to Adam's suggestion that is going to be the new branding for this season. Going to go ahead and bring Adam on stage here. Adam, how the fuck are you doing today?
Doing all right. I just swallowed some spit down the wrong hole as I was watching those videos. So I feel a little clogged up here. So
I swallowed some spit down the wrong hole.
Yeah, wrong hole, man.
You okay?
Aside from that, I'm okay. I think I'll survive.
Do you want to talk about it?
No.
Okay, you're all right. How about we got the videos?
Yeah, if folks really understood the immense burdensome challenge that went into making that happen,
dude, for the last 5 weeks. Yeah, it's been fucking.
Yeah, although the last one of these was a little bit. I'm going to put that on you.
You know what though? We never got to finish that conversation from last time when I lost all my internet because I was on the road.
Correct.
We might have to dig back into that today too, a little bit. Yeah, because I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Was that the first time you'd seen that XL promo?
It is beautiful.
That was a good job, wasn't it?
Yeah. Who did that?
Lexi.
And so Eric's video person, Lexi, is phenomenal.
Yeah. So she did that. So excited about that. Exhale's already about half full, and we're still like 9 months away. So I'm super excited about that.
I will be there. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Everybody I know that has been on this trip. So I'm actually in advance of that. I'm taking my first vacation in 5 years. So this will be my second vacation in 5 years, 6 years really when I get on.
6 years at that point, yeah.
But
because you're going where again?
Going to Amsterdam and Germany.
That's right.
Really Germany for like 14, 15 days.
Yeah, just don't burn your eye on a fucking brat.
Come on. Yeah, as long as I'm not cooking it, I think we're in good shape.
You'll be okay.
But yeah, I should be okay. Yeah, I'm going to go to October.
Let's actually, while we're talking about it, before I forget, I do want to extend that conversation that we had a week ago when I was in the car. And to refresh everybody's memory that's watching, we started talking about and chime in, right? So like we've got comments up here so that somebody, if I don't see it, Maria will send me a text and let me know that it came through. But a couple of weeks ago, we did our last webinar and I was on the road and we lost service, but we were talking about this guy that applied for a job with me And all he did was reply with, "What's the salary?"
Yeah.
And I fucking lost my shit because I was like, that is just absolutely the wrong way to try and get a fucking job. Like, that's just absolutely insanity to me. Um, in the interim, to everybody, so that they know what's going on, somebody found they were able to zoom in and see his last name, even though I blacked it out. So all these people online started sending him messages, and I started getting blown up on threads, which I didn't even know I was on threads.
Can we pause for a moment here, because I think it's an important note.
Mhm.
The people that took the time out of their lives to screen capture the image, zoom in on the image to be able to see this guy's name, to sympathize with the guy who doesn't want to work that hard to get money, no shock, right? Yeah, of course. Like, can we?
But they have plenty of time because that's all they do.
Well,
Like,
exactly right? Yeah, I can't
they're
imagine
the
having
same people that leave bad reviews for restaurants. Like, just don't fucking go back. Like,
for sure. Yeah, you can
I-
be incensed about something, but like, to take that amount of personal time out of your life to, yeah.
100%. Yeah. Like, what a bunch of weird motherfuckers that did that. But so that kid then had the balls. I don't even want to call it balls. I think he's just arrogant to send me an email, like laughing at me. It was like, well, I guess that backfired on you, asshole. Must be your first year in business. And my first reaction, my gut reaction is I was going to climb through that screen and just motherfuck him to death. Right. I didn't. I told you about it. And you were like, you need to get him on the podcast. And so I replied with a very nicely worded email stating that it would be an amazing conversation about generational differences in employment and employer-employee relationships and getting jobs. And it would be great exposure for him for whatever new career he was looking at, because it sure as shit wasn't going to be with me. Then Adam graciously offered to even pay him to come on the show.
Although I didn't get to him. I needed you to forward that email, because
That's right. That's right.
Yes, I will. And if this catches his eye, I will give him an appearance fee to appear on this show for one episode. No question. No doubt.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
I would be the best. It'd be riveting. Yeah.
Who was the other person that you said we should have on?
You got into a public argument you mentioned this week, and you reminded yourself for the 1,000th time that this is why I don't respond to stupid things that roofing company owner. Yes. Yeah.
Why do I do that? Like, like how often do you have to stop yourself?
I've been, I'm not a big social media guy, all things being honest, as evidenced by the weird shit that I put out there very intermittently. How often do I have to stop myself? There are times, sure, where I see something, and there was one I saw earlier, and it was a gentleman who posted, I get a lot of hate for the business that I built, but that's sort of what happens when you build a $10 million business and you spend $1 million a year in advertising online and you hire thousands of people. And the only thing I could think in the back of my mind was, if you had to hire thousands of people and you spend $1 million in online advertising to do $10 million in revenue, there's a much bigger fucking problem behind this, right? So the innocent shall remain nameless. But I had to, that one I had to stop myself on. Yeah.
And you know, and people were making comments when I asked that question. I was like, why do I keep doing this? I'm like, stop replying to idiots, right? And somebody made a really good point where they did say, they're like, genuinely, they're like, you probably, like, you genuinely want to help people, but nobody wants to listen, right? Nobody actually wants to listen. They just want to, I don't know if they just want to vent or if they want to, you know what I mean? Like, I guess sometimes I don't understand, but like, I always feel like I am attempting to help. Maybe the way that I do it isn't the best way to do it. Right. And maybe I need to work on that, but I think I do genuinely want to help, but some people are too fucking dumb to help.
Yeah, for sure. And some people are too sensitive. I think, it's you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so
because
it is a personal reflection on them or their self-worth, or why it's like all kinds of things that get defensive.
Yeah. I would love to have that conversation though with somebody. So I'm going to keep digging to try and find somebody to get on the show to have that conversation of just because, again, do you think it is generational differences?
I don't know. That's a great question. Do I think it's generational differences? I mean, no, and maybe this is part of it, right? Like I hopped into the workforce in the middle of the '08 financial crisis when there were like no fucking jobs available. And it was like me competing against jobs against guys with like 30 years of experience because there was no extension of unemployment benefits.
Right.
So, I worked like 2 or 3 jobs for fucking years as I started my career. And I don't look at things maybe the same. I think these younger kids, they hopped into an economy that was like a peak economy, like peak economic strength. Like opportunity hasn't been hard to come across. Like they easier for them to take things for granted. There's a lot more job
That's
mobility
fair.
and job hopping. So I
Yeah.
think it's generational to some degree. I think part of it's born of experience and opportunity as well. But I think
Yep.
its core beyond generational. It's some of it's just personality, right?
Yeah. And timing. Yeah,
And,
you're right.
and that's where we get to like. And I encourage every single fucking roofing company owner, like, the guy that wants a bigger draw or more draw is not going to work for you. I've never seen that work, right? Like the guy that is like, I'll only take this job if you can double the draw, like, and I need it for at least 8 months. I've never one time seen that guy end up working out. Like,
No.
You should create a part of what your job is, right? Is to create a pay for performance culture, that allows payment at milestones of the entire deal process. So commission drives behavior. And so we can incentivize these guys to do the right things. And pay them a little early for more opportunities and at bats for revenue for the organization. Like that's how you solve that problem, right? And
Yeah.
the people that can understand those comp plans are the ones that want to overperform them and make a few $100,000 a year and make you millions in the back end of it. And so, like, those are the guys you should be going after. And it gets to that other thing, right? Which is like, there's this idea that just like, sell another roof, right? And the roofing company owner version of that is hire another sales guy. Like,
Right.
that's not always the answer.
Well, and you know what I've learned recently? I shouldn't say I've learned it recently. I always knew it, but I didn't act on it well enough. Is that if you don't have the right sales leadership in place and you continuously hire sales reps, but you don't have proper training and systems and processes in place for them to be able to flourish, you're throwing good money at bad anyway,
Yep.
because there's a low likelihood that they're going to succeed. Right.
Yep.
And I've learned that, in a couple different instances. I've been very, very fortunate, just because we've been around for so long and we bring people in and we've got a really good culture of like everybody helping everybody. So it's super easy, specifically like in Omaha, if I bring somebody in to be a sales rep, we've got guys here that'll just jump all over it and help guys, get up to speed really fast. And like we've got all the online training and the portals and all that bullshit. But to have somebody that's like specifically does that and is watching them and holding them accountable every day, that's the missing piece that I think a lot of people are missing. And there's certain, places that I'm missing it, as well, that I need to work on.
And I would say, like, to that end, right, we forget to empower our sales leaders and sales managers to focus predominantly on behaviors.
Yeah.
Like, that's what shows up at work all the time, right? And I think there's this overemphasis on, like, administrative components of the job, right? Because it's like,
Yes.
we all recognize it. So then we get these sales leaders that are just focused on, like, this, like, bureaucratic, administrative and operational components, which, while important, right, are not really the things that drive revenue long term. So
I think that's really important because one of the things and one of the reasons why people do want to work for us is because when we sit down and we explain the job to them, we explain to them, you just have to go sell, right? You don't have to create your estimates in the background. You don't have to supplement your files in the background if it's insurance. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. We're switching over to we're finally turning it on next week. I don't know why. By the way, I always have to have something in my hand, like a pen or something. And whenever we do these lives, I always have a knife. I always have a knife sitting here. And like I play with this knife all the time. It's super fucking weird. But anyway, when I'm talking to people and bringing them on, and I explain to them, like, you're going to have a person that is assigned to you that you're going to be able to give information to. And we're actually going live next week, finally, with ProLine. So we've been building out all the automations with our SMA team. And I'll tell you right now, anybody that's watching, like, if you think switching CRMs is a good idea without using an SMA team to switch your fucking CRMs for you, you are delusional, because there is no way I would have done this. It took us a little bit longer than I anticipated, and or maybe, you know what I mean? Like I maybe had some lofty I had some lofty goals of when I, wanted to be able to go live with it or whatever. And there was just a little bit more to it because I wasn't going to turn it on and have it be too clunky for the team, right? And like missing parts and pieces. But we built that thing out so it's almost exactly the way that we had it before. And with all the new features that we're going to be able to integrate by using ProLine so that guys have opportunities of like they have follow-up inside of the CRM that they don't have to actually do, right? And it's just constantly doing it, all the tasks and triggers and all the custom
Automations.
automation. Thank you. Automation that goes with it is going to be an absolute game changer. And everybody looked at me and cringed when we first started this process. And now they're all looking at me like, when can we turn it on, Eric? When can we turn it on? When can we turn it on? So like, thank you to SMA for being a part of that. Cause I was able to utilize my SMA team and an external one inside of your organization to be able to make that happen. I think that's really important.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of work in data migrations. I will break some news here, Eric, which is
break it.
We have been building adjacent to SMA a software business. And this software business is going to democratize CRMs and roofing. So in short, right now we have a platform where you can tell me I'm in Job Nimbus and this is my Job Nimbus your login. And then we type in that login and we type in your API key and we hit 2 buttons and it will pull the entirety of your data, your files, your photos, your documents. It will normalize that into an upload format for your next CRM. Then we hit play on that button and it'll pump into your new CRM, right? So we have built this. We've built the upload template into AccuLinks thus far. We've built the extraction templates out of Job Nimbus, out of Leap, out of Zoho, out of Zendesk. So as they come across our team's eyes, we're building something behind it. And again, my background before this was all venture capital. So the dude who's helping us do this is the foremost expert in the world in machine learning, who built the quant engine for FanDuel. So
it's got to be an interesting conversation, or maybe you don't even have the conversation, but like CRMs have to like love you and fucking hate you because you're making it very easy for them to sell, but you're making it easy for existing CRMs to sell coming to their platform, right? But you're also making it very easy for people to leave. So
like CRMs, well, I'll tell you right. And to that end, I'm also courageous enough to say this. 2 CRMs have been hands-on with us in that process to make it as easy to get uploaded as possible. ProLine and AccuLinks. Others have not been as.
But have you had people going to AccuLinks?
For sure. Yeah.
Okay. I just always hear of people leaving AccuLinks. So
there's quite a bit of that too, right? I mean, there's a lot of.
But maybe that's just because they have more. It's probably just because they have more users than anybody. Right. So like
likely. Yeah. And to that end, right? Like the hang up I think people have had is like getting out of my old system is going to be impossible.
Yeah.
Now we've made that as easy as clicking 3 buttons.
Right.
so
yeah. At least to be fair, at least on the front end of it, right? Sure. There's still a lot of work like
on the back end.
I'm not trying to burst anybody's bubble and like
there's still quite a bit of process that goes into implementing that new CRM, setting up automation, setting up workflows, doing data mapping, ensuring that we know like, hey, this rep that isn't with me anymore had 75 deals. So how do I want these deals reassigned as we upload into the new system?
Right.
Things like that. Right. So it's not as simple.
Because like something that I didn't think about was we were on an onboarding call yesterday, our last little training call. And so I separated it out. So I had a sales onboarding call with ProLine. I had a production onboarding call, and then I had an admin one. Right. And the admin one had accounting, billing, and then just like basic admin stuff. Right. And a question came up from Natalie. Actually, she was like, because she was afraid because of the last time we switched CRMs, she didn't want to sync it with QuickBooks because she was afraid when it went over, it was going to double enter every single client into QuickBooks. And because that was what happened the last time, and it was a shit show going back and fixing it. And all we had to do, we had to ask one question and figured out it only does that if it goes to a stage considered as 1. But if we skip that stage, and so we had to identify what is that stage, and we clicked one button and said that stage doesn't mean 1, that one does. Mm-hmm. So now when we go into it, but like that's the part of the onboarding. And then in the middle of that, I have my SMA team on the call documenting every single conversation that we're having, and then building an SOP behind it. So then when everything is done, everybody gets a document with the SOP for their department. So the sales guys get an SOP for their department of everything that they have to do and what they're responsible for. Billing gets an SOP for their department, what they're responsible for, and production does. So then everybody's got that exact SOP. So if I have to fire somebody or if somebody dies or leaves, I can plug and play somebody and I can cut the training time in half.
Yeah, exactly right.
I'm excited. I mean, yeah, I guess that was a statement more than a question, but I'm really excited for it. And like I said, I couldn't have done that. Like I couldn't have done it without the team that we have. So I appreciate all of that. One thing that we were talking about before we jumped on here was you had mentioned about back end staff and what happens. Yeah, go into what you were thinking about with that.
Yeah, and I get this question a lot, right, from folks that are like, "Hey, well, what actually happens when I fire my local back office, my office manager, my office administrator? Like, what tends to happen within my operation?"
Because we have a lot of churn on low pay people.
Yep, yeah, and there's a lot of hesitation and fear about having a job that's been centrally focused in your office, someplace else where you can't see it live day in day.
Right.
And what I tend to find happens. The first is you force focus. Right. What I mean by that is the average roofing admin is in your local office. They're doing like 5 to 8 things really poorly instead of doing one thing really well. So when you remove that generalist function and you begin to shift the responsibilities to specialists, like either redefining some of those components within existing funnels within your business or getting them systematized within folks like SMA or other offshore groups, you immediately eliminate noise and you give field staff, sales, leadership, production, like focus on clarity and focus on revenue generating work. So like you begin to force focus, right? Because you all of a sudden, I say this all the time, the office manager in roofing is the garbage pail. Like all the shit rolls downhill and everyone's like, I'll put it on her desk. I'll put it on his desk. That'll get done. So now all of a sudden we're a little bit more focused. A big thing that I tell folks happens, you gain systems instead of personalities, right? So like local admin teams operate with institutional knowledge that lives in someone's head. And then the minute they walk out the door, it's gone, right?
Right.
And you have the personality of that person, all the good and all the bad, as the representation of the work that they're doing in office. So if you're outsourcing that work, and we'll use SMA as an example, what you get instead is structured process documentation, defined workflows, cross-trained support infrastructure. So like if someone takes a vacation or quits, that nothing breaks. There's someone else to step in and to do that work immediately.
Yeah. And I'll give an example of that too. Cause like when we switched office managers, we had our office manager that had been here for quite a while. And like, I still like having a person like one person in office who's kind of the, like the one kind of tracking everything. Right. And then she's helping work with our SMA team. So she's kind of the, I don't know what you want to call it, kind of the spearhead, right? That like I still have her answering phones and stuff like that, like in office or whatever. But just that transition of when I transitioned to her, it took forever. It took forever, right? Yep. But having my other team to be able to support her so that she can focus on those 2 or 3 things that she's good at has allowed that position, I think, to be able to flourish, to make it easier now if I do have to replace her, to make it's way easier because I've got this team that's doing 80% of the work that other person was doing all of it.
And she can focus on things that require her locally, that require her touch, her cultural knowledge, her input, right? Like, so, and there's quite a bit of that work that's out there. And it gets to the other thing, right? Which is like, I hear this all the time. I laugh every time I hear it. 95% of roofing companies do not have a lead flow problem. They have a bandwidth problem. Those are not the same thing. And if you start to offload operational drag, you open up your team's capacity to pursue new channels, to handle increased volume, to self-generate, to scale into new markets without any fear of breaking the back end of that business, right? So like I hear I'm not getting enough leads. And then I hear the burden that we're putting on our projects managers' plate in terms of the leads that you are giving them or feeding them or the projects that they are managing. And you think like, gee, I wonder why that guy's not out there like hitting 60 doors a day to dump more shit on his plate.
Right.
So
Yeah, what are we offloading on them? And again, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about I think that that's why it's attractive to work for us is because I get to have that conversation in that first meeting to say, we get rid of all the shit that you don't need to do, right?
yeah,
You don't have to come in here and manage the project. You don't have to come in here and write your estimates. You don't have to come in here and do the billing. You don't have to build. I was shocked. Somebody came in and was going to interview with us and said that they had to build their own work orders. I was like, you have to build your own fucking work orders. Like,
yeah.
that's insane. Who does that? And I understand that was maybe industry practice, 15 years ago or whatever, but like to have a sales guy building their own work order.
Yeah. Yeah. It's insane. And I hear like the guys that I ask that question to, I hear that too all the time, and I say why. My favorite one is, well, give them 10% of the profit. Like they should have to work for it. Like, don't you want them getting a bigger fucking pie? Like, wouldn't that make more like, yeah, cool. They're getting that 10% for bringing the deal to life. Like, why not enable them to get a bigger fucking pie rather than, hands-on manage 30 projects a year?
And so, okay, that's a good point. But, and so the pushback, devil's advocate, right, is that you can go get a bigger pie, but I tend to focus on what you and I have talked about a lot in the past of instead of even focusing on, yes, it's going to be bigger. It's going to be a bigger pie. It's going to be a bigger pond. Right. But now you're only doing the things that you came here to do.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, as somebody that was coming into a new organization, I'd be more attracted to that because when I hear bigger pie and more jobs, I think more work. Right. And it's being extremely clear about it's not more work. It's the same amount of work to get more jobs, right? And because you're able to offload 60% of what you're going to have to do for company XYZ compared to what you have to do when you work for me because of this team that we have, that is going to allow you to win even faster.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, yeah. So have you looked for a local dive shop yet?
I'm all set. I'm good to go. I need my open water training. That's it.
Oh, you found a shop though?
Done. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is it Patty or SSI?
$600. Easy.
So that'll get you book work and pool work.
Book work, pool work. Then I need open water, which I think I can do with you, right?
So you can do that with George. Yeah, you pay George to do your open water deal. Right. Yeah, while we're there. No, it's going to be awesome. I'm super excited. I leave tomorrow to go down there. So I'm gonna send some videos to our group chat to just tease everybody a little bit, and I'll go test the waters.
What's the weather? How hot is it in the Caymans in fucking July?
It's pretty temperate, right? So it's not like Houston, right, where like summers are unbearable, but like it's hot, right? Yeah. Like I mean, it's mid 90s, and we're going in April. April's like one of the best times to go. For sure.
Flat water too, right? In April, generally speaking.
How's the water?
In April, it's fairly flat, right? It's like way out the opposite of storm season.
It depends on what side of the island you go to.
All right.
So it's going to be a little rough because I want us to go east. So I'm working a deal so we can get on a different boat so that we can go dive east because that's my favorite place to dive ever is the east side of Cayman. But I'm figuring that out. But yeah.
You keep asking me this, and I found this out yesterday, and I figured I would tell you now. December 7th is the trip.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Is that the day of the party?
That's the day of the party. So I'm going to try and fly out. Remember that you'll like miss a day.
You'll lose a day out and gain a day back.
Effectively. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
when I go to Egypt, because I'm going to Egypt in October and I lose a day going out, but I gain a day coming back.
Correct. Yep.
So it's probably the opposite because we're going west.
Yeah. So if you head out on like a Friday night, it's a wild flight, by the way. So it's a 17-hour flight from the West Coast. You chase nighttime the entire way because you're flying around the rotation, and you leave on Friday night, 11 p.m. You land on Sunday morning. It's sunrise. It's
shit,
nuts. Yeah. It's a little.
What kind of drugs do you take to sleep?
I don't take any because I'm like super sensitive to that shit.
Oh,
So if I take any, it will fuck me up. It's not just like that night; it fucks me up for like a week.
gotcha.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so December 7th. That's a Sunday.
Correct.
Okay, so you'll probably fly in on like the 5th or the 6th.
I'm gonna maybe try to fly in on the 6th. Yeah,
Like land on the 6th,
land on the 6th. Yeah, I think.
which means you'd fly on the 5th.
4th.
Oh, fuck.
Night of the 4th. Yeah. Yeah. So I fly like 11 p.m. or whatever on the 4th and land.
Okay. And then do you stay for a week?
Yeah. I'm going to try and stay for like 9 days. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, offline, let's get together and figure out those flights. At least the flight out for sure, depending on what day I come back. But I'm super fucking stoked for that, especially since I found that first class flight on Malaysian Airways or whatever it is, or
Philippine Airways. Yeah, it's like $2,000, right?
Yeah, it was like $2,500 for first class.
Yeah, that's not
bad. You can't beat that.
No round trip.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a fucking no brainer. So now that we have dates, I want to book them so I don't lose the fucking, because that's a great deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, cool. All right. What else? Anything else new going on with SMA? Where are you going to be at next, or where's Chris or anybody going to be at next event wise?
Well, we're going to be at Win the Storm. So we're doing a great thing with the group at Meritage Partners.
So I might be too.
Look at that.
So nice. I just got invited because I wasn't going to go. Nobody asked me to speak, and I wasn't going to pay for a booth. And I was talking to Daniel, and I was like, I haven't bought a ticket to an event in like 7 years. I was like, so I don't really want to start buying tickets to events, but they asked me to come do the podcast there, and I'll have a great room of people to be able to interview.
Yeah. Well, we're sponsoring that event with Daniel and et al. And the team, great team at Meritage. So we will be there.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm excited about that.
A quick shout out to what Josie did with that is, I mean, like, that is a business school lesson in repairing an incredibly damaged brand to make it it was one of the most valuable shows that the last one I went to that entire year. So,
oh, really?
Yes. 1,000%. Yeah.
I'm very interested to see how it goes this year, to see the growth of it and how he put it together. So, he's got some good people, helping put that together. He's put good people in a room. So I've known Josie for a while, and Josie's a good dude. And so I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like. So I'll be excited to just hang out in the same room with you for 3 days or whatever. Sure. So where's that at, in Dallas?
I think Dallas. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, anybody watching, we will all be at Win the Storm. Is that in August?
I think end of August.
Okay. I got to check dates on that. So, so we'll all be at Win the Storm in the Meritage SMA breakout room thing. GTFO with Eric O. We'll fucking be in the corner filming podcasts. And so we'll try and get some really cool guests on there. If anybody has suggestions of who should be on the show for this next season, let me know. We're getting our new, we're getting our new studio built upstairs.
Oh, nice.
So I'm getting guests lined up for season 7 already locally, and anybody that wants to fly in. But we're rebuilding out the entire room with new backdrops. I went and bought this really cool fucking neon sign with our logo and everything on it. And so as soon as I get back from this trip, we're going to start filming for the new season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bring the car deal to our guy again.
Swipes?
Yes. Swipes.
Did you watch his?
Yes. Oh yeah. I want Swipes on. I want to I'm always going to advocate for, things that are a little bit different.
Swipes is awesome. Yeah. I got
great.
it. Yeah. He just took Natalie's Jeep the other day and fucking got her all cleaned up real good. He's
Perfect.
such a good musician. Like I wish he just had something pop like really, really big, because he's just so good.
Yeah.
Maria, tag Swipes in this and tell him to fast forward to fucking wherever we're at right now so you can see that we're talking about him. I love Swipes. So, all right, cool. Well, Adam, you got anything else you want to leave everybody with?
No, I'm going to go tinkle right as soon as we disconnect.
All right, we'll close off here. We'll show a couple of the videos here for everybody, and then we'll see y'all in a couple of weeks.
See ya.
This is an event you won't want to miss.
think the number one thing that I take away from this is the challenge. You're always challenged on multiple levels, mentally, physically, spiritually. We've been challenged every day since we've been here. You gotta come here, take some time out, do it. It's a great experience. You'll never forget it.
Hey, everybody, we're going to take a quick little break here. I want to stop and thank our new sponsor. If you're serious about getting your time back and scaling your business, then SMA Support Services is your secret weapon. I use SMA for all of our support and admin tasks. Everything from back office management, day-to-day admin, even a call center. Their team frees up my staff to stay focused on high-level, revenue-generating activities. And that, let me tell you, is a fucking game changer. SMA isn't just support. They're a partner that keeps our operations running smooth and efficiently. So if you want to focus on growing your business and leave the support work to the pros, hit up SMA Support Services.